We're back, everybody. My first guest, of course, is the host of her own very popular TV talk show. Please welcome our good friend, Rosie O'Donnell. Very nice to have you on the program.
They're a little crazy today.
We're going to have the audience beaten very soon.
All right, good to know.
I have an East German in the audience keeping the crowd quiet.
Yeah, I heard about that.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah, thank you for being here. You're relaxed?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
I've gotten over all the jitters of being on Millionaire.
Yeah, you were obsessed with the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show, aren't you?
Yes, I am, sir. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Are you addicted?
I wouldn't say I'm addicted,
no.
But I do see why, and the show draws you in. I think partially because those first questions they start off on.
Yeah.
You know what color is an orange? You're like, I know that.
Exactly, and you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you feel really you feel much smarter than you are when you start watching it. Then they start to get complicated, and I always figure out an excuse to leave the room.
Really?
Pretty quickly.
See, now when the first show, when the show first came out last summer, I remember thinking this is going to be the biggest bomb. You ever see the cheesy commercial?
Right.
It's like Regis behind a car wash, little tinsel thing going, "You want to be a millionaire? Call his phone number." I thought, oh, the poor guy's career is going down the crapper, you know? And then I saw it, and I thought, this is the best piece of cheesy, great Americana that I've seen.
It's so tense. The lighting and everything, it's a great idea.
And I have even been a phone-a-friend, Conan.
I know. You were a lifeline.
I was a lifeline. Here's a sad, pathetic statement of my life.
Okay.
I was a lifeline 7 times. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but that means 7 different nights I volunteered to stay by my phone for 4.5 hours just in case some stranger I never met got in trouble on the Millionaire set. So like the biggest loser, I'm sitting screaming at the kids, "Don't talk! Don't pick up the phone! Get away from Mommy! I'm the lifeline! I'm the lifeline!" And then after I was a lifeline, I
But
thought,
Mommy, the kitchen's on fire! Quiet!
Exactly. You know,
surrounded by almanacs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was really a lot of pressure, and I didn't realize before I did it, what if you got it wrong?
I've seen episodes where someone's real confident, like they call their friend, and the friend's like, the answer's blue.
Yeah.
Really? Blue. Just go with blue. And they say blue. No, I'm sorry. You lose everything.
I know. Will Durst, you know, the comic.
Yeah.
They called him, and he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been
And he was real
pressure.
confident, like, I'm telling you, this is the answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I knew mine, though. I knew mine. I said to him I was 67% sure. Mm-hmm. And I was very lucky because it was only $32,000. I know it's a lot of money, but it wasn't like the $250. I figured if he lost, cut him a check. You know what I mean? Because of the guilt. I would have so much anxiety about ruining this guy's life.
Here are 2 Yugos. I'm sorry.
Exactly. But Celebrity Millionaire was different because...
Now, tell me about this, because you did Celebrity Millionaire, which intrigues me. What's that like? Can you reveal what happened?
I'm not really at liberty to discuss it, Conan.
Come on, we're on very late at night. No one's watching right now. Don't you think we're entitled to hear what happened? Yeah, I want to know. I promise.
It's on May 1st through May 4th.
Okay.
It's on, and they've made us swear that we won't say what happened.
Right.
And just let me say this, at rehearsal, I kicked everyone's sorry little butt. I was so confident in the fast finger in rehearsal, after I entered, I stood up. Because I knew I won. That is cocky. Is that cocky?
That is very... I would hate you if I saw that.
Yeah, well, the other people hated me. But then, when we came down to showtime, it took me forever to get in the hot seat. Forever.
Now, can you tell me who beat you? Because I actually heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that David Duchovny, of X-File fame, actually beat you at Fast Finger. Is that true? Yeah, and he went to Yale.
So what? It's not just getting in the hot seat, Conan. It's what you do once you're there. Pretty much.
Is there a secret to it? Is there a method, you think?
There's a method. A lot of people use the thumbs, the double thumbs.
Right.
I feel as though thumbs are only good really for Nintendo.
Right.
There's no other way that you use thumbs in an integral. But I did the double finger, double pointer.
Double pointer's the way to do it?
That's what I did.
Does anyone, if I was cocky, I'd just use my elbows.
Would you? You see? But you know what was really weird about it? Is that usually on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the people who are playing are not millionaires.
Right.
When it was Celebrity Millionaire, the people who were playing were millionaires.
Right.
So they didn't really care about the amount of money.
That is so horrible.
It is horrible, but like the first 5 people, they kept guessing. You know, they'd get up to 250, and they'd go, I don't know, let's go with C. And Regis is like, you're going to lose $218,000. I don't care, let's go with C. You know, there was
Be
no
like,
tension.
yeah.
You know, they're thinking, oh, it's just a coffee break money.
Yeah.
That's nothing for me.
It would be like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you've won $1 million. Yeah, fine. Now I gotta go now. Bye.
Exactly.
Just give me the check. Give me the check. I gotta go.
But they did give it to charity, and I do think that they dumbed down the questions a little bit.
Well, for charity, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you have to.
No, it's for the celebrities. It's not because of charity.
For being nice.
Because I was on Celebrity Jeopardy.
Celebrity Jeopardy is much different than regular Jeopardy.
It's much easier. You know, they really, because they can't, you know, it's like the difference between the working horse and the show pony that just runs around and looks pretty.
Right.
You know, that's all we're supposed to do. It's like, no, yeah, orange is the color of an orange.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, the first time I was on Celebrity Jeopardy, I won. And that's because I was against Ed Begley Jr. and Robert Guillaume.
Now, they're not smart?
I'm not saying they're not smart. They're just...
Yes, you are.
No, they're not.
You just said they're idiots.
No, they did not know how to work the buzzer on Jeopardy.
That's everyone's complaint. Actually, Regis, when he used to be on Celebrity Jeopardy, would lose. He always came in third. He would always be like, the button, it doesn't work. The button doesn't work. There's something wrong with the button. There's a short circuit in the button. Like, what are you talking about? There's no short... Now he has his own game show, and suddenly, you know, if anyone else says that, it's like, you're making an excuse.
Exactly, but the truth is that there is a lighted neon rail around the Jeopardy board, which you can't see when you're watching at home.
Right.
After Alex finishes the question, then the lights go on. You can only buzz in after the light goes on. If you buzz in before, like Regis probably did, it locks you out for 3 seconds, and then it seems like nothing's working, you know?
Anything to make celebrities look like boobs on TV.
Exactly.
I'm 100%
but I
behind.
didn't even know the questions on Jeopardy, but I won anyway because they couldn't buzz in. You know?
Really?
Yeah, they were like so frantically. They never played Nintendo. You know, I grew up with Atari, Pong, Sega. I'm like, I'm in, screw you, Benson. I'm in. You know, I totally...
The man has a name.
Whatever. I was right.
Hey, Benson, good luck.
And, you know, they gave him opera. He's an opera singer.
Right,
They gave Ed Begley Jr. ecology. You know, he's Mr. like, you know, sunroof car, solar-powered jet skis, whatever. And then, for me, there was no, like, commercials.
Right.
Commercial jingles or, you know, fast food. There was no category for me. I didn't think it was fair. Last time Carol Burnett kicked my butt, which is really embarrassing.
Really?
It was me and Noah Wiley. Carter.
Yeah.
ER. You'd think.
Yeah. You think he'd do well? He's been through medical school.
Totally, you know? Nothing. Carol Burnett.
Left and right.
Exactly.
Now, you moved. I'm curious. You moved to Connecticut recently. I have a little place way up in northern Connecticut, but I understand I'm like out in farm country, and I don't go there that much. But like they're just mules around where I am.
Right.
You moved apparently to kind of a hoi polloi fancy area. Is that right?
You know, it's a little bit more upper class than I'm used to. Let's just say. I grew up on the island, exit 52.
Right.
You know, to me, the classiest car I ever was in was a Camaro. So, you know, with furry dice. That's what I'm looking for, somebody like Augie Tefano. And I moved in to this neighborhood, really, and it's very safe, which is good. But the people there are a little sort of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they invited me to a party. Rose, would you like to come over for cocktail? So I thought, okay, what am I going to wear? You know, I felt like Lovey, Thurston Howell III. So I went to the Gap, and I got a pair of khakis, figuring that's pretty preppy, right?
That's what the preppy people wear.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm not exactly preppy. And I bought the khakis, and I'm looking, I'm like, all right, these are good. They look good. I bought a white Oxford. I thought, this is, you know,
nice.
I even borrowed pearl earrings from my sister.
Right.
I was totally
Did you wear a tiara, too?
No, I left that at home. But I went to the party, and everybody was really nice to me, and I was trying to be very highfalutin. And I went home, and I'm like, I did really well. And I turned around, I went, these jeans and size 16 right on my ass, right there, right at the party. Nice big size 16 for all the people in Connecticut. Nobody said, by the way, you've got a size on your ass. You know, no one said that to me while I was there.
Well, no.
Strangely enough.
That's horrible.
And we have ticks. We have ticks.
Yes.
Yeah, we have guinea hens now.
What?
I got the guinea hens. You familiar with this?
No.
Little hens that look like turkeys, and they go around your neighborhood, your yard, and they eat the ticks.
So that you don't get the dreaded Lyme disease.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I have coyotes that come in to eat the guinea hens.
Right. And then what do you do with the coyotes?
They have other ticks, which I need other animals. It's like Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom in my backyard now.
Just a big
but there
fight
are no
going
ticks,
on.
Exactly.
Well, hang loose. You're gonna like this new neighborhood. I can tell.
I think I will.
If it gives you material, that's the most important thing.
That's true.
all our lives are now. Anything for material. The Rosie O'Donnell Show, of course, like I have to mention this, it's on weekdays. Check your local listings. And Rosie, we love it when you come by.
Hey, Conan, whenever you want me, I'm available. I'm right downstairs.
All right. You shouldn't have said that. That was the biggest mistake.
Oh, gee!
Again tomorrow? Thanks very much, Rosie. Rosie O'Donnell, everybody. Stanley Tucci coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.